You know, who would have ever imagined that as we were sitting here in this very room last year and I was giving this address that 2020 would turn out the way that it did. And just a few short weeks after this speech, our lives changed dramatically. COVID-19 literally turned our lives upside down. Our state shut down. Hardworking Lebanon residents were laid off. Mothers and fathers were forced to become educators as our schools closed. Our restaurants were forced to close their doors, and our senior citizens were cut off from friends and family. Just as we thought things couldn't get worse, they did. On May 4th, the day the state reopened and people began returning to work, our city was hit by a massive surprise storm causing catastrophic damage and destruction throughout our community. All of the obstacles that we faced in 2020, we overcame and weathered the storm as one community. Our community quickly rallied to make the most of the bad situation. Our businesses showed resilience by adapting and doing what was necessary to survive. One example that comes to mind is T's Redneck Steakhouse. As fear from the pandemic gripped our nation and our grocery store shelves were running bare, T's transformed into a drive-through grocery store, providing our residents with staples to keep their pantries from being empty. They also made use of their distillery to make hand sanitizer for those having a hard time to get it. Another example was Justice Furniture. This Lebanon manufacturing facility transformed their operation to help provide personal protective equipment to hospitals and medical providers. Our residents started eating out curbside and doing so faithfully to help our restaurants stay afloat. As one community, members of the Lebanon School District worked to make sure kids were fed, delivering thousands of meals to students on buses. And with the help of the Lebanon Area Foundation, we established the Funds for Food program, and as one community, we rallied and raised more than $30,000 to purchase food for area food banks. When the storm hit, we continued rallying together as one community to take care of each other. Neighbors immediately began helping neighbors clean up debris, pick up limbs, offered food, and some even provided shelter for those displaced from their homes. Despite all the pain we were experiencing, we showed the true spirit of Lebanon. We came together and remained together as one community. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to report to you that despite all that we have been through this past year, the state of our city is stronger than ever. When I was elected to a full term as your mayor last year, your vote was a vote of confidence in the direction we have taken as a municipal government. We have worked to reach out and listen to the community in outlining the goals of your city government. We have worked diligently to implement policies and best practices to reflect the visions of our citizens. In 2018, we conducted the first customer satisfaction survey to assess feedback from our residents. Using those results, council and I were able to come up to a consensus policy with a direction and a focus on a clear vision for the future, consistency and transparency. We have created goals for the city government that are aligned with the results of this survey. Last year, we repeated that survey and completed a business survey as well. The 2020 Customer Satisfaction Survey indicated great strides in moving Lebanon forward in just 2 short years. Here are some of the areas showing significant improvement. Your confidence in city administration, appointed staff, and elected officials increased by 20%. Your confidence in the overall effectiveness of appointed boards and commission increased by 18%. Your perception of the overall ability of information about city programs increased by 15%. And citizens felt the flow of traffic and traffic congestion management increased by 15%. Community engagement in decision-making, efforts to inform the public about local issues, and effectiveness of communication with the public all increased by 14%. In fact, of the 79 areas we assessed, satisfaction ratings increased or stayed the same in 71 of those 79 areas, with 41 areas showing a significant increase of more than 5%. In 2018, our residents asked us to focus our attention on 3 primary areas: maintenance of city streets, buildings, and facilities, flow of traffic and congestion management, enforcement of city codes and ordinances. The 2020 survey indicated that we are headed in the right direction in each of those areas, but that each area is still a high priority. We have made a lot of progress in those areas, and in a few moments, I will highlight our progress and share more about the projects on the horizon. As I stated earlier, we also conducted our first business survey last year, and our local businesses indicated street maintenance as a high priority as well, followed closely by effectiveness of communication and police services. Many of these concerns mirror those of our citizens, and I will address those in a few moments and talk about what we plan to do. But before we talk about our citizens' concerns, I want to share plans we have to increase dialogue with our business community. Our communication department has created a new Facebook group called the Lebanon Business Forum. Group membership is available to business owners, managers, and leaders in the community. In that group, we will provide the business community an online forum to ask questions, discuss concerns, and have a continuing conversation with officials at City Hall to make sure that your concerns are heard and your needs are met. The communications department will also be launching an online business newsletter. This monthly newsletter will highlight city programs that have a direct benefit to our businesses. We'll also give updates on events in the community and in the downtown business district. We plan on sharing information about development in the city, and we'll be collaborating with Lebanon Ready to make sure our business community stays informed. The first one of these business letters went out last month. Many of you may receive that. Another thing we'll be beginning this year is Coffee with the Mayor program. I'll be inviting different business sectors to periodic meetings for dialogue and to visit about the ways that we can help improve the business climate in Lebanon. We hope that these programs will help increase the partnership between the business community and the city government and provide a forum to continue our forward momentum as one community. As I mentioned earlier, 2020 was a very difficult year for our city. But despite that, we made a lot of progress. Here are some of the projects that we made a reality in 2020. We completed a remodel of the Cowan Civic Center, which included a repaved parking lot, a new roof, a covered walkway, updated modern lighting, and a new Route 66 theme for all of our meeting rooms. As promised, when our customers approved the capital improvement tax in 2018, the new Lebanon Farmers Market Pavilion, also known as the Market, has been completed. Not only did it house our farmers market, but has been used for food truck events and for vendors at our Christmas on Commercial event, and has many more events planned for this year as well. To address traffic concerns, we opened the Van Buren Springfield Road extension, giving our residents another path across town with hopes of providing some traffic relief on Jefferson. One area of concern for the city in recent years has been the need for more housing in the city. Council has implemented new ordinances to help create needed housing growth for our citizens by waiving fees on lots ready for construction. These policies have more than doubled the number of housing startups to a total of 42 in 2019, and again in 2020 with 44. In fact, this policy has been so successful, the council approved at last Monday's council meeting to waive fees on another 25 developments. In the last few weeks, we broke ground on the new Lebanon Public Safety Facility off Ivy Lane. This building, made possible when you approved the capital improvement sales tax in 2018, will provide our citizens on the growing southwest side of the city with an increased response time, or rather decreased response time. That's better. With the new facility, there's also the need for staffing. In 2019, you approved the new public safety sales tax. With this funding, we will not only be able to provide the ability to staff this facility, but we'll also be adding 6 additional firefighters as well as additional police officers. We will also be able to provide all of our emergency service providers with better equipment and fair pay. We've also made a $7 million investment in upgrading and modernizing our wastewater treatment facility. Construction is underway, and this project is ahead of schedule. This upgrade enables us to be prepared for future growth, comply with state regulations, and most importantly, provide better wastewater management services to our customers. Excuse me. We have also reestablished a strong downtown business district and have worked with the board members to bring in the city's first downtown executive director, Ashton Light, who's here with us today. Since Ashton was hired, the district has been approved to receive Missouri Main Street Grant Funds, which is a 50% reimbursement facade fund that has been created for facade improvements. And life and activity is returning to our beautiful downtown Lebanon. While we're on downtown, the H.D. Lee Water Tower at the Allen Building has been repainted with the downtown logo, and we were able to light it in different colors as we celebrate different events. The project to convert the Allen Building into contemporary studio apartments is still in motion, and optimistically, we hope to see it completed by the next year. These modern apartments will allow more people to live downtown and hopefully bring new life to the district. In our Parks Department, we have approved the installation of an amphitheater at Boswell Park. Our goal is to have this installed in time for the Route 66 Festival, which is scheduled for Father's Day weekend this year. This new amphitheater will provide a new outdoor location for concerts, performances, and much more. In May of last year, we officially opened Nelson Park and Sports Complex and worked with White River Marine to retain Nelson Lake connected to the old Nelson Park. The new Nelson Park has proven to be a popular destination for baseball tournaments, and it has brought guests and tourist dollars into our local economy. This partnership with the Lebanon R3 School District is providing our community with a first-rate sports complex and park. The new park also provides visitors a 100-plus acre experience, including access to walking trails at the Coleman Memorial Conservation Site. Working together with the school district and the state as one community, the project has potentially saved taxpayers millions of dollars by combining resources from multiple entities to benefit each one without replicating efforts. Each day, we continue to strengthen our partnerships with other local, state, and federal agencies to create projects that benefit the entire community while saving resources and time. One partnership we're very proud of is the Storm Shelter Partnership with the Lebanon R3 School District. As one community, we can work together to help provide a place for our residents to go during a storm event. Lebanon residents can use the FEMA shelter at Lebanon Middle School and will soon be able to make use of the shelters at Maple Crest Elementary and Boswell Elementary. Code enforcement was also a high priority of our customers from the 2018 survey and again in 2020. We have heard the call, and council has authorized the expansion of code administration staff. In 2019, we more than doubled the staff and issued 679 nuisance letters, a 459 letter increase over the previous year. And in 2020, we also issued 663 nuisance letters. We also saw the demolition of 40 nuisance structures. And if you drive the streets today in Lebanon, you notice cleaner properties and businesses. Construction is nearing completion on a sidewalk on North Adams Street between the high school on Bryce Street and Dollar General driveway. This project was a joint one between the Lebanon High School class of 22 and the city to identify feasible projects our youth were interested in and to educate our students about the workings of local government. Not only does this initiative show that we value their opinions, but it also allows us to teach students about the legislative process. Through this engagement, we will be able to deliver on some of their requests, such as the much-needed sidewalk. The students also requested sand volleyball courts, which have been completed at Nelson Park, and an Instagram mural on the side, which have been completed at Nelson Park, and then we also added an Instagram mural on the side of Hogan Land Title and Company downtown. The future of Lebanon, our students' involvement is appreciated, and this administration will continue to work to make sure their ideas are considered and, if possible, acted on. Shopping local is a priority in purchasing for the city and this administration. We have continued purchasing city vehicles locally, and we have partnered with several area banks to finance large purchases, including the Lebanon Public Safety Center. Over this next year, we plan to build upon intentional partnerships, and as one community, we will continue moving Lebanon forward for success. With street conditions a primary concern for our residents, at the previous council meeting last Monday night, we moved $250,000 this year and next year from the Capital Improvement Fund over to the Street Fund to accelerate street improvements that were on our comprehensive street plan. Thanks to your support of the public safety sales tax, we have been able to take pressure off the general fund which funded public safety, making it possible to even consider doing this. Along with construction of the new Public Safety Center, we will continue to invest in public safety by implementing body cameras for our police department, license plate readers in certain areas of town, and by giving our police department the opportunity to conduct internet forensics investigations in-house. As our parks have aged and the Boswell Aquatic Center has potentially reached the end of life, we're going to have to look at making some hard decisions in how we maintain and improve our park system in the coming years. One solution that is currently in high-level discussion on the City Council and Park Board is the possibility of asking our voters to consider repealing the current parks property tax and replacing it with a half-cent sales tax. If this is an option the voters approve, it would reduce property taxes and increase revenues for the parks by providing county residents and guests the opportunity to fund facilities used by more than just our residents. If approved, we could explore renovations to the Boswell Aquatic Center with the installation of potentially 2 new parks in underserved areas of Lebanon, and we could potentially expand walking and biking trails in the city. The tax would also help fund much-needed stormwater drainage improvements, which are currently funded by street dollars. Another area that we want to focus on in the next year is leveling up Lebanon. Our customer satisfaction survey indicated the need for improvements in one area of Ward 4. Just this week, we launched the Level Up Community Focus Area. On last Monday night, we held a meeting at the Cowan Civic Center Theater to discuss what we can do to serve them better and level up this area of the city. From the discussions that we had, we are looking at the police department stepping up patrols in this area and establishing a neighborhood watch program. Our fire department is making sure our residents in this area have smoke detectors in their homes. We will also look at street lights in this area and see if there's anything that we can do to have an immediate impact in leveling up this neighborhood. We also are going to sponsor cleanup days in this area and provide dumpsters and assistance in getting properties in better shape. While this area of Ward 4 will be our first focus area, we hope the Level Up Lebanon movement will become a citywide thing, an opportunity to take more pride in our community and make things better for ourselves and generations to come. As I close this address, I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge all of those that serve our community. The improvements we have seen and will see in the future would not be possible without the commitment of our staff. Our city administrator, Mike Shoemaker, is here with us, and a first-rate city council that truly cares for our citizens' well-being, the growth of our community, and of our city employees. Thank you all. I would also like to express my appreciation to the city staff in making the council's policies and our directives a reality. You all continue to provide excellent customer service to our citizens, and your service does not go unnoticed. While 2020 was a year of tremendous progress for Lebanon, it was also a hard year for staff. The storm on May 4th greatly impacted the entire organization. Our electric team worked tirelessly until power was restored in every home. We appreciate all of their hard work, but we also had a team working behind the scenes as well. Police officers, firefighters, public works crews, and city hall staff stepped in to fill the gap, responded to our customers, and restored order as quickly as possible. Following the storm, our street department took on the task of hauling off storm debris for residents. It took several weeks to clear the debris, and in the end, this team hauled off more than 1,200 dump truck loads of debris. Most people don't realize the work municipal employees do behind the scenes to maintain basic services for our residents and to keep our community safe. But today, we recognize you. On top of the storm, our team was also dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Sadly, this disease took the life of one of our finest officers and dedicated civil servants, Officer Kendall Blackburn. Officer Blackburn contracted COVID-19 on duty, and he fought a brave battle until the end. Kendall gave his life doing what he loved most, caring for and serving his community. While we mourn Kendall, I want to encourage everyone to honor his legacy of service by serving as Kendall served. As one community, we can continue to work together in the spirit of cooperation and continue to make Lebanon an even better place to live, work, and play. The future is bright, the state of the city is strong, and we will continue as one community moving Lebanon forward for success. Thank you.